Hello again, and welcome back to another tutorial. And this time I will make a video about how to clean the lens element in an old non-AI Nikkor-H Auto 3.5 and 2.8 centimeter. This is really old stuff, and it's actually the same lens which I make the focus, which go really very good, and the showing how to into the aperture blades, how it looks. But this time it will be about how to clean the lens element and how actually to go into it. So and I think we will begin with the back lens group. We need some tools, and we need a lot of tools. Well, at least a 2mm flathead screwdriver is very handy, and a 1.2mm flathead screwdriver is also very handy. We need some lens tools. It could be this one, or it's actually a compass, just like this one. This is just older, and this is adjustable, and then you can locked. And I have just file and grind the tips of those. I have more of those, and but it's easy to do. Very handy. It is also those rubber cones which you can buy on Amazon. They are in different size and really good. Also, this kind of rubber tools is very handy. There are 9 of those with the 2 different sizes in each end. So it's a set of 9 different. And yeah, we need some cutting butts, and we need some Eclipse cleaning fluid, and we need some nail polish remover, and we will also need some lighter fluid. It could be whatever, Zippo or Extra or whatever the name is. And of course we also need some PEC-PAD, which is, well, that's the stuff I do. I use. And we probably also will need some gloves, which is very sticky, and it will be easy to disassemble the lens itself. Now we're going into the back lens group, which is yeah, not that hard to get into it, but we need to disassemble the back black ring here. It's not necessary to take off the mount itself, so just need to take off the 3 screws around here, one there, which is the lock screw. Remember that. It sits, if you look here, we have the distance index, and the lock screw is sit 90 degrees clockwise from the lock notch, which is locked into the camera. And there are also 2 other screws, one there and one there. You could just set a mark here, which I already done. It's just to show people, okay, it's the opposite side of the distance index. It could also be a point to mention. Well, you cannot put it on the camera if it sits wrong, so just to be sure. But just take off the bigger screw, and oh, they made us steel, so it's good. It's a magnetic. So the two and the third one. So there. And then it's easy to take that up. Well, we could use some dentist tool, which is very handy. I like this. And just lift up here gently. I mean, it's not made of plastic, so there is no problem. It's actually aluminium. So, and here we are. Well, it was not necessary to take off this ring, but just to be sure you can see what's actually going on. Oh, I missed one screw. Where did it go? Well, it's not a big problem, but I'll figure it out later. The back lens group is we have to unscrew this, which we will do with the cones here. And the diameter, there are many different sizes, so I would guess this one could go for that. And we just need to press a bit hard on it, and then it can be unscrewed. There are some dust and small fragments of things. It's an old thing. You probably can see there is some, I mean, the lens element is not new, of course. But if we take a strong torch and light through it, can be difficult to see. Not really that easy, but you can see the surface on the outside is not really good anymore. Maybe it has been used a lot. But how about the other in here? Well, we could take a look, and you can see there are some, yeah. Well, so we just take a look inside, and to get the next lens element in here, it looks like all of them are sit in a frame, a ring frame. So for the next, I'll just use a compass or lens tool. You can also buy those lens tool on eBay or Amazon, but look for a good quality. I don't have those, but because I make my own out of compasses, divider. So, and then unscrew it. Okay, this is actually tight. So how to deal with that? Yeah, well, sometimes you cannot unscrew the things, the rings, the screws, or whatever it is, but with help from nail polish remover with acetone, or you could just use acetone. I mean, this is just very handy to show on my video. And so just use a cotton bud, and the best is actually when it's a wooden stick. I mean, the pin here should be wooden, a kind of wood. The plastic will bend because nail polish remover, or I mean acetone itself, actually melting plastic. So and in other situations with new lenses, you take care of it. But let's see how we can do here. We just put on some, and it's evaporate very quickly. So, and in this heat, I mean it's summer at the moment. So you see, I can just add some, and it will go all the way around. So it's easy, and I'm sure it will help. I mean, it had helped with many other lenses I have disassembled, or other screws that has to come apart. So have a good grip on it, and then it says click. So just unscrew it, I mean loosen it, and then you can use your rubber tool here for not damage anything. Oh, there's more. And as you can see here, it sits in the frame and cannot be taken out. So, and we will actually do the same with the next one. And of course, I have been into this lens before. Of course, just to figure out how it was. And so I actually set a gently mark on the here, where you can see there are 2 points, and it's just because it's easier to see if the lens sits correct. Now, and even I have tightened it when I assembled it again, so it will be hard to open again. But let's see how we can unscrew it, just because it will make it a lot easier to do. So, and maybe it needs some more. You see the lighter, I mean not the lighter, the nail polish remover will just, if I put it here, it will just go on the thread and loosen it up, so it'll be easier to unscrew. This is another compass which I have bent outwards, so it'll be easier to unscrew here, and it's not adjustable, but it's okay for this work. So, and then have a good grip. And then just unscrew it a little and do the rest with the rubber tools. There are many different sizes here, actually. So, and then unscrew it. So now we are in the whole back lens group is actually out, and there are 3 elements. There's no cemented lens element, so it will look like, if I put it here, so you can see the sequence, I mean the the direction of how it looks. So this is the outside, the outmost back lens, and the next one is this one, and the last one is this one. And you can see you cannot set them wrong, because well, this one you could screw in, but you cannot screw it fully in. So yeah. And how does it actually look? There are some fragments on here. It could be it's only hair or something, but I will clean it anyway. So put the lens aside, and we just go from, just take the most inner lens first. And for this I will just use those rubber tools, which is also very handy to actually put lenses on like this, and it acts as a stand, a stable stand when cleaning the lens element. And just take one of those. And then it's time to have some gloves on. Maybe someone think, okay, you should have done it before, but no. But I will do it anyway, because so here we are. Now I can begin with some lighter fluid, which is in many situations very good to clean lens element, and in some other cases it's not good. But let's do it with this one. I mean, you can get it in most hardware stores, or maybe where they sell tobacco or something. So just put it on here and add the lighter fluid so it goes out of the edge of the paper, and then do some movement and take it away. It looks pretty good. Then the most inner element. There could be some fragments of haze. Maybe it is haze, I don't know. But it looks a bit not good. But let's see how it can be. And just how does it look on the back? Indeed. And we just check with the torch. Okay, there is something. It could be the paper itself, that where I draw the paper over the edge here, but well, I can just do it again. I mean, much better. I think it'll be very good. There's some fragments of dust, but I will just blow it away So this one, okay, so it's better just to put it back in again. And this one is ready to go. Just screw it in. Maybe there will be some hair or other strange thing, but we'll just blow it away. So this is how it, like there, and then tighten it. Yeah, fine. And then the next element. Some of those are a bit difficult to attach because there is a frame. I mean, kind of, because the lens element is put in from this side and then glued into the frame here. So it can sometimes be a little difficult to attach the, I mean, clean the element on one side of the ring here. But let's see how it can be. Need some other, I mean, different size. But of course, many of those, they are very, very handy in many cases, especially for lens cleaning. And just to make it more stable, you can just do so. You see, it stands really good here. Now, this is more difficult, so I will just use a cotton bud and put it on here to probably make it easier to do. Wow, it really helps a lot. It looks really good. And then it's just the other side, which is more easy to do because of the different height of the in the frame. Oh, it looks really good. So just put this back in again. There's no hair around here. So when try to find the thread, go a little backward, click. And then it will just be easier to screw this into place. And I need this one. And then tighten it. And then the most back element, which has the same problem again. It sits in a frame where it's I think it's set in from here. So let's see how it will go. Just flip it over here. And do something like that. That's okay. A stand. Just use a corner on the paper. And then just use a curtain board. It will make it easier to there's still something. Just use another corner. It helps a lot. So that's fine for now. I mean, the back lens, which is a little bit damaged during the years, I could probably help a little. So let's see how it will go. Yeah, I mean, I cannot do much about this one because it's so. And when working with those elements, when you have used the blower, just flip it over and then you can just add it to here. Click. And then it's almost done. Just put those on here and then tighten it. So it is fine. And then put the bag on here. And then it's done. Okay, we have a distance index, and the opposite side there's the lock screw. And where did the other screw went? It's somewhere on my table. Just put it on later. Then can I figure out where it goes? Well, not a big problem. So, and yes, there is another screw, I know, but just roll away. I'll figure it out later. It's not under my monitor. Well, now it's time to the front lens screw. Sorry for that. To access the front lens group, one need to take off the focus ring here, because inside here, to get the ring here, the name ring off, there is a small set screw. And we just take off the 3 screws around here on the focus ring. I mean, in my lens there's only one, because I mean there's always been ones since I got the lens. So I'll just find other screws sooner. Now put it on something like 0. To near end, and then just take off the focus ring itself, put it aside. Now, I mean almost to near end, because there is one screw hidden behind here. You cannot see it here, but if I move the focus, there will be one screw. And remember, it's not that screw or that screw. It holds a bar, some kind of a bar. And then there are 3 screws around that holds the front lens group into the focus assembly. So there's one screw here, which I just unhidden, and there's one here, and the other is here. Oh, yeah. So, so by unscrew those 3, it's possible to take the whole front lens group out. It will make it easier to work with, of course. And the second one. And the last one. So they will be there. So now it's actually easy to just take out the whole lens group. And of course, to be sure you put it correct, I have just set a mark here. So it's in line with the index mark. Just to be sure where it sits. Okay, yeah. I forgot I could just take out the whole lens assembly. Well, so it is. But just in case, if you only want to do the back lens group, you could just let the lens assembly sit in the focus. Yeah, okay. There are many things to do the thing. Now, to take out the front lens group itself, there is, there could be, but not in my lens, there could be a small screw here to hold this ring, the name ring, and the front lens group into place. So by unscrew this one counterclockwise, have a good grip here, and then unscrew it. And so here it is. Well, I could just put this back into the lens assembly, but yeah. Now, to get into the front lens group and take that out, and also take off the back of the front lens group, there are 2 small holes here. One there, there's one, and there's also another one over here. And because I do not have a repair manual for this lens, so I set a mark here just to know when I have tightened the front name ring, which also holds the front lens group, the front lens itself. Now, there's also, I mean, the back here is separate here. As you can see, there's a mark here, which I have set. And it's possible to unscrew this one from the next ring here. So, but sometimes they put Threadlocker on it, and again we will use the nail polish remover to just soften the Threadlocker, and just add a little. It will go all the way around, and so something like that. And then it should be possible to unscrew this one. And again, those very handy tools are really handy in this case. Oh, this was too small. But one can use this one as a, I mean, to have a better grip on it. So maybe, oh yeah, I will unscrew the, I mean, the front is loosened because I unscrew it from the from the lens assembly here. Now we can also just take the front part. So I will just take off the front ring here with the front lens itself. Put this aside here. And it's held in place by a retaining ring. There are two notches here, one there and another one over here. So let's see how it's possible to unscrew with a lens spinner. I'm not sure this one can do it. Maybe this one, no. This one possibly, yeah, it can be. So the 50mm rubber tool here can actually do it. So let's see how it's, if it's loose. I mean, it is. So we can just continue unscrew it from the front name ring. So and there it is, off with that ring. And when cleaning the lens element here, I can just use my rubber tool to do that. Put it over here and let the lens fall into the rubber tool. And how bad is it actually? Just have a look. Well, it's not that bad. I mean, it is really an old lens, so no one expect that it should be look like new. But you see, there are something on the edge of the lens element, which I also would take away. So I think I will do the front lens first. Is actually, I mean, the back of the lens, I mean the inside of the lens is straight, is plain on the back, and the front, the very front of the lens is curved. So keep that in mind. So just use the, I mean, clean the very front, And for that, just use some lighter fluid. And then so there it goes. Well, it looks pretty good. There are some scratches on, on the front, but yeah, it's not a new lens. So doing the inside of the lens, and just flip it over and do the other side. Let's see what's happened if I'll just use lighter fluid here, and if it's not work good enough, I'll just use the other solution, Eclipse. Wow, looks really good. But well, I don't think it will be much better with the Eclipse, so I will just put this back in, and for that I will do it like this, put it over here, put the name ring on, and let the lens just fall into place. So, and there it is. And then add the retaining ring. And then when you screw it in, just go back until it says click. And before tighten the screw, the retaining ring, just blow away some dust. It could sit on the edge of the retaining ring. And then just tighten it. So, and then blow the other fragments of things away. The lens is still not tighten enough, so I will use my my compass lens tool or whatever people have, then do something like there, and then gently screw it in, then have a good grip on it and tighten it. So that was the front lens group. Not the front lens, of course. Now the next lens is the back of the front lens group, and you remember I add some nail polish remover here, so it should be more easy to unscrew, and I think it will be. Maybe this one could be used a bit too big. Just use this one, and then I will use the biggest one, put it over here, and then have a good grip and unscrew it. So this is how those tools can be used in many different ways of unscrew or tighten things. Take care of when screw it out. So it is. So this is how it looks, and this the back of the lens element cannot be unscrewed. It's just glued into place. So I will just use my cotton bud on a lint cloth and clean the inside here. But first, the next lens element, which is the front here, and it's held in place by a retaining ring, which has 2 notches, as you can see here and there. And for that I cannot use the rubber tool because the lens is too deep, as you can see on the edge. So I'll just use this one and fit it in. So there it is. Maybe it's tight, I don't know. I haven't unscrewed this one. Oh, it comes off. Good. And I don't. It doesn't look like they have used any thread lock. Oh, have to adjust it a bit more, and then just unscrew the retaining ring. It looks like the lens will turn around too, but I don't know if it's so. If it's yeah, it will come loose too. But maybe the ring is glued into the lens, or maybe it's just the old painting that's on here. Yeah. Take care of it, because the ring could be loose and then the lens will fall on the table. So this is how it looks in here. It is possible to, when moving around here, I would guess it's possible to get it loose from the lens. Maybe or maybe not. Well, it doesn't look like. So I will just clean the element, the front and back. Just fit a find a rubber tool which is have the right size. This one could be fine. So, and you see it's very deep lens, as you can see here. So it can sometimes be a problem. So one has to be very careful when clean it. Just take another one of those. And I will just try the eclipse for this lens and see how it works. It's the same you use when cleaning sensors in digital cameras, or I could use lighter fluid. It's also very good to clean sensors in some cases. So just add a lot so it sucks in, and then move around. It's important the edge of the lens tissue is wet with the cleaning solvent, because when you go out, when moving around and then out, there will be any dry here that could, well, it could make it difficult to have everything done correct. I think we'll do it again with lighter fluid just to see. There was just some spots. Let's see how it will work. Whoa, it's absolutely clean. That's really amazing. Now flip it over and take the other side of the lens. I think the lighter fluid simply just work much better. In some cases. Now so it simply just looked like it was new. That's just amazing. Okay, that was it. So I'll just put it back into the what's called a frame for the lens element. Find the thread, click, and then it goes. And this one could help a little. I mean, not all the way in, but part of it. Maybe this cone or the other. Maybe this one. No, too big. Okay, this one could do the work. So, and then just blow some things away. And then tighten the retaining ring. And there's no need for over tighten it. See, the rubber tool cannot screw it all the way in, so therefore. And just check here that there's no small hairs or whatever it could be. So it is. I can see there is something around the edge which I haven't done proper. So we'll just do that. Just add a little. And then move around. Yeah, very good. I mean, really good. And so I can actually add this to the front and just screw it in. Click. And of course, when tighten this lens element into the front, we can just use lens tool, as you can see here, something like that here, and then so it looks really much better. There's a scratch there, nothing I can do about. Now the inner lens element is sometimes difficult to read them, but let's see what we can do about it. Put it into the stand here. It's very handy with those rubber thingy. And then just add some, put it all the way in here. And let's see how it can go. There, and just add some. And I will use the pointy end, which could be good. Yeah, it's actually very good. Very fine. And now the outer lens element. And I will just use a few drops on it. Then, oh, what's going on here? Wow, it looks like new. Just amazing how lighter fluid actually works. And then I can just screw it in here. Oh, there was some hair over here. Let's get rid of those. There's nothing on the inside here. Screw it in. And to the end of the mark which I set there. So, and then just put it back into the lens assembly. Well, I think I will just use a few drops on the inside of the just to take away stuff like this one. I think it will help a little. So, and then put the front lens screw into place. Catch the thread there and screw it in. Tighten it. And so it's actually ready to put back into the focus assembly. And of course, to do that, it will be a lot easier when take off the back plate. Of course, I should not have put it in. I mean, should just let it out and do it to the very end. But it's easy to unscrew again, because it will make it much easier when putting in the lens assembly. I have a mark here, which I set in the first film, and there's a mark here, which I also said in the first film. Set the aperture to 16, and by moving the pin that is connected to the aperture into the camera, this pin has to go all the way over here. So it looks like something here. The tiny pin here goes into the tiny notch, fork or whatever. So let it catch this first. Oh, out of frame. Let it catch the gap here, and by holding this over here it will be a little easier. I know it's difficult to see on the camera, but now it's catch the fork, and on the other side, when moving this, it will catch the fork here. So now it's into place and the aperture is working, even if set on 16. And so it is. And now it's time to put in the tiny screws on the side of the here. Where's my mark? Somewhere here. How strange. So now I'm safe and can do the other two screws. And the hidden screw behind the focus ring here. And again, unscrew, as you unscrew it, you will catch the thread easier. So, and the last one. And then I only need to put in the back of the ring around the mount. It's a kind of a cover. And of course the focus ring, which I actually just could put in, set it to near end. I think it would be easier to do. And there's one hole there and a hole there. So fit it in. The ring can be a little tricky to put on. So there it is, and I think I'll just use the same screw hole as I used to do with this lens. Where did it go? Here. So, and there the focus working proper. And then I just need to put in the ring here on the back. And I have to find the screw after the film. So when putting this on here, the holes have to sit correct. And the opposite side of the focus index is the lock screw. Just to mention that. Okay, we just have to figure out there. What's happened here? Oh, it's not aligned proper. So there it is. Screw it in. Take care of the thread on some of those old lenses because the aluminum can be a little soft. So now it is there, and the last screw, which I cannot find at the moment, find it later and put it on. Yeah, but that's actually all for this lens and about cleaning the lens element. Let's have a look inside here. There are still a scratch on the back, but the lens just looks much better. So you can see it's not that hard to do. You just need some proper tools and of course the lens tissue and the rubber tools in different size and shapes and so. So that's all for now, and hope you can use the information. And yeah, there will be more films sooner. Bye bye, take care out there.